Hello students, myself Deepika Prajapati from Computer Department, and today we are going to discuss about a new topic of the chapter number 1, software development process. So today's our topic is that software development. So what is software development, how it work, and what is the process about software development process. So dear our student, we have already seen about various types of topic from the chapter number 1, software development process. But now in this lecture we are going to discuss about our first topic is software development. So dear all student, welcome to all of you in our today's video lecture series. So here first, software development. So what is software development? Software development is the process of developing software through successive phases in an orderly way. So that means what? Software development is nothing but one type of process for publishing. Developing it means publishing the software through a successive phases in an ordinary ways. So the software development is the computer programming, documenting, testing, bug fixing involved in creating and maintaining applications and framework involved in software life cycle and resulting in software product, and then we have to develop these types of any software. So whenever you develop software, first of all we have to check its computer programming, documenting, testing, bug fixing involved in creating and maintaining application, and so it's also contain one type of framework about software, and it involve in software life cycle and then resulting in a software product. So here three most common being for software development is first of all, first most important thing about our the common being of software development is to meet specific needs of specific clients. Second, to meet the pre-reserved need of some set of potential users, and third, to develop for personal use. So here once again, the three most common being of software development process is first of all to meet specific needs of specific clients. Second one is to meet a pre-received need of some set of potential users, and third to develop for personal use. So these three most common being for the software development process model. Then next, the software development process is a set of steps that the developed program goes through when developed. So the phase of software development process are first of all requirement gathering and analysis. Second one is designing. Third one is implementation. It contains our programming code. It means coding portion. Then testing. Then documentation, and then maintenance. So these all phases for the developing of software. So dear all student, whenever you have to develop any software, then you must follow these type of phases for the developing your software. So here for example, any user develop for any software, so then this user must follow these types of phases for the developing software. So first of all, the user have to follow the requirement gathering and analysis about the software, then designing portion of the software, then the implementation and coding of the software, then this software is ready, then it testing the software and clear out the documentation about software, and then it contain all our maintenance about the software. So these all phases of software development processes. So next, in a requirement phase, which portion occur in our requirement phase for the software development process. So in a requirement phase, the goal of what the program will be capable of doing is decided. Then second, the design phase cover how the program is going to be created and who will be doing what, etc. So the designing phase is depends on how the program is going to be created, who will be doing what. Then the implementation phase is where the programmers and other designers start work on the program. Then testing and verification phase is a very most MP phase about our software development, because if any error bug created when the developing software, then the testing and verification phase is a very most MP phase for the developing of software. So the can being to the help verify the program has no error. During this phase, the problem are fixed until the program meets the requirement. And the documentation phase tells how to use the program or a project. And finally, maintaining our program as well as our project must continue for several years after the initial release. So these all phases are very most MP phases for our software developing. Okay. Next, here the generic framework activities of software engineering. So this is our the software engineering generic view. So the work associated with software engineering can be categorized in three generic phases. First of all, definition phase, development phase, and support phase. So the first phase is the definition phase about our software, then developing phase and support phase, and then support phase contain as correction, adaptation, enhancement, and prevention, and then our software framework is ready. Okay, so whenever the generic framework developing for the software engineering, so you have to follow these types of three phase generic. First of all, definition phase, second one is development phase, then support phase, and these three phases contain as our correction, adaptation, enhancement, and prevention about software. Okay. Next, first of all, definition phase. So what occur in our definition phase? So it focus on what part? During definition phase, the software engineer attempts to identify first of all what information is to be processed, what function and performance are decided, what system behavior can be expected, what interfaces are to be established, what design constraints exist, what validation criteria are required to define a successful system. So three main activities performed during this phases is first of all system or information engineering, software project planning, and requirement analysis. So these three main activities performed during this phase. So first of all, system or information engineering, software project planning, and requirement analysis. Next, development phase. It focus on how part of the development. So here the definition phase focus on what part, and here development phase focus on how part. So during the development of software, engineer attempts to define first of all how data are to be structured, how function is to be implemented within a software architecture, and how interfaces are to be characterized, and how design will be translated into a programming language, and how testing will be performed. So these all questions arise whenever software engineer attempts development phase. So these types of performing developing phase for the software, then main activities are performed under these phases are software design, code generation, and software testing. Next, support phase. So support phase focus on change associated with error correction. So here the four types of change are uncounted during the support phase. So first of all, correction, adaptation, enhancement, perfection, and prevention. So correction contain as corrective maintenance, change the software to correct defect. Adaptive maintenance results in modification to the software to accommodate changes to its external environment. And here the enhancement and perfection contain as perfective maintenance extends the software beyond its original functional requirements. And prevention maintenance to enable the software to serve the needs of its end users. So these all phases in our support phase system. So the four types of changes are encountered during the support phase is correction, adaptation, enhancement, and we can also say enhancement as a perfection and prevention. Okay. Next, generic framework activities. So the generic framework activities contain as a first of all project definition, planning, engineering and construction, release or deployment, and then customer use. So here we can take some example. So first, whenever we take any project for any definition, then we have to first of all name of the project. It means we have to first of all the project definition, then we can plan of the project, then we can construction and engineering about the project, and then release and deployment, and next final stage the customer use this project. So this is our generic framework activities. So first of all project definition, plan, engineering and construction, release or deployment, and then customer use. So first, project definition. It requires to establish effective communication between developer and customer and to define the requirements of the project. Then planning. So it requires defining resources, timelines, and other project related information and assessing technical and management risk. Then third, engineering and construction. So it requires for create one or more representation of the software and to generate code and conduct through testing. Then release and deployment. So it required to install the software in its environment to provide a customer support, and customer use. It required for obtaining customer feedback based on use and evaluation of project delivered during release. So this is our generic framework activities. Next, umbrella activities. So what is umbrella activities? This is very most IMP concept for the GTU exam, and this question again and again asked in your university exam having a 3 marks, either 4 marks. So dear student, kindly learn this topic with concentration. So umbrella activities are performed throughout the process, and these activities are independent of any framework activities. So here the umbrella activities are given below. The first, software project tracking and control, second, formal technical review, and third, software quality assurance. So here the first, software project tracking and control. So it assesses progress against the plan and take action to maintain the schedule. Then formal technical review. This include reviewing the techniques that has been used in the project. And software quality assurance. This is very important to ensure the quality management of each part to ensure them. Then document preparation and production, reusability management, measurement and risk management. So in a document preparation and production, all the project planning and other activities should be hardly copied and the production gets started here. Reusability management, this includes the backing up of each part of the software project. They can be corrected or any kind of support can be given to them later to update or upgraded the software at user time demand. Then measurement, this will include all the measurement of every aspect of the software project. Then risk management. Risk management is a series of steps that help a software team to understand and manage uncertainty. Then this is a very most IMP concept for our GTU exam, and this question asked in GTU exam having 4 marks. So here the SDLC life cycle, software development life cycle model, is our the first model of the chapter number 1. So here the first model is SDLC model. It stands for a software development life cycle model. So every system has a life cycle. in a real time example, uh, all people, system, development process all have a life cycle. So here every system has a life cycle. So it being when a problem is recognized, after then system is developed, grows until maturity, and then maintenance needed due to change in the nature of system, so it died and new system or replacement of it taken place. So SDLC is a framework that describes the activities performed at each stage of software development project. So here one is our figure about software development life cycle. So first of all, starting phase of SDLC is here in a navy blue color. Requirement analysis is our first phase of SDLC, software development life cycle. So first phase is the requirement analysis. Second phase is defining, then designing, coding, testing, deployment and maintenance. So this is our SDLC life cycle phases. So our first phase of SDLC is requirement analysis of the software, then defining of software, then designing of the software, then coding of the software, then testing of the software, then deployment of the software, and then maintenance of the software. And here the all phases of same like our SDLC. First of all plan, then design, then coding, it means implement, then test, deploy and maintenance. So I hope dear all students you all easily understand about this software development process, the concept. So dear all, if anyone have a doubt then please comment on Google Classroom. Okay. Thank you.